The interview will air, and he will immediately find a reason to talk bad about you in public.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro seems to be the #1 guy in Hollywood at doing this, and that's why they put him on MSNBC all the time and let him host these award shows and everything else, because he's just given the machine what it wants, as I always say about Stephen Colbert. Here he is on MSNBC, the televised mental institution known as MSNBC, and he can't even tell you one terrible thing that the orange man did, but he does bring up Hitler.
You have no upside in having this conversation, in speaking out against Donald Trump. You are making yourself a target. The interview will air, and he will immediately find a reason to talk bad about you in public.
Yeah.
But you're choosing to use your platform to do so. What do you say to other celebrities who don't want to alienate part of their fan base, don't want to step in harm's way, but they have similar megaphones that you do?
You know, the idea to be bullied at my age by someone like this is not happening.
I'm pretty sure you were never bullied.
No, you know, as a kid, sometimes this, that, but the point is not, and for the country, no. And I think other people are going to have to stand up and just, because it's either that or you're going to find yourself in a situation that's so terrifying. We always hear about people from Eastern Europe, the Jews from other parts of Eastern Europe, from Western Europe, coming over. Look what happened with France, with the Nazis and so on. And they come over, and you hear these, and when I was a kid, they'd say, "You don't really appreciate this country. You don't really appreciate what we know from experience." Imagine what those people went through. I'm just starting to see it. You know, as a kid, I said, Hitler, it's a nightmare that never would happen. But now I see that it's possible. And what those people, and sometimes I run into some people who are close to my age who are from Eastern Europe, European countries, or even Nazi Germany.
All right, I'll stop there for a second. We're going to get to the point where he brings up Hitler specifically in just a second. But it is his side, the Democrats, who are opening the borders, who have let 7 to 10 million people in these last 3 years, and we have no idea who they are. And we now know that some of them actually are at these college protests calling for genocide of those Jews. So stop using the Jews. That's one part of this. The other part, yeah, he's such a tough guy. He's such a tough guy. And that interviewer, what an embarrassment. You're really putting it all on the line by saying something bad about Donald Trump. That's so edgy. We've never heard that on this channel before. I can't believe it. Anyway, you can see what they're doing. They need you to believe that if Donald Trump gets back in and he's able to do a little something as it pertains to the border or immigration or fix the economy or anything, that somehow that is the thing that will lead to fascism. Meanwhile, they have corporate collusion between the mainstream media and our judicial system that is putting this man on trial as he's trying to run for president. That actually has a little more to do with fascism than anything Donald Trump has done. Anywhere here he goes, continuing to imply that Trump is Hitler.
What do you say to those who say, "I don't like the guy, but I'm going to vote for him"? What's your message to them?
I don't understand it. I don't think they understand how dangerous it will be if he ever, God forbid, becomes president. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler. They don't take him serious. He looks like a clown, acts like a clown. Mussolini, same thing. These guys, I don't know why, they look like clowns. They somehow, people, that element of society identifies in some ways with them, but it would be chaos beyond our imagination. There's no mystery about him. He's right out front, and what he says is what it'll be if he becomes president.
So interesting, that element of society, basically, that supports Trump. You do know that that's probably half, if not more than half of the country. Those people do go to movies. And largely people are tuning out of these things because, well, you don't need to be lectured by Hollywood actors, right? Also, who is more dangerous? Who is more dangerous to the world? Let's go pre-COVID for just a second. So just go right back to, say, January of 2020, the first year and a half of the Trump situation, right? Things were going pretty well. He was 2 years into the presidency, if not more, actually. Things were going pretty damn well. And then COVID came in. So now we can just chalk that up to he got rolled over by the deep state and Fauci and everybody else. But we know that things were going well, and we were getting the Abraham Accords, and we were having a solid economy here and everything else. Now we have a man with dementia that's in charge. Everyone knows he has dementia. He is being run, this is obviously the Obama administration, he's being run by a bunch of jihadists in his staff, right? Like they're in the White House right now, and we all see what is happening, and the border and everything else. So who is more dangerous, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Well, Elon Musk saw that clip. He wrote this, and I think this gets to the heart of it. He wrote, well, Trump was actually already president for 4 years, and his policies bore no resemblance to those of Hitler, so this makes no sense. In fact, with the Abraham Accords, he made some progress towards peace in the Middle East, which was definitely not high on Hitler's agenda.